Am I the asshole here for kicking my parent out and saying, this is why I was so messed up as a kid? I had my parents over for dinner this weekend. They are in their 60s, and after my daughter, who was 10, asked if she could play us a song that she'd been practicing on her keyboard, she gets lessons. It wasn't perfect, she missed a few notes, there were a couple of pauses, but she did really well. She looked up at the end with a massive smile, and I started clapping, and my parents started fucking laughing. Not just a little chuckle, a massive fucking belly laugh. Both of them. My mum asked if it was her first time playing it, and my dad said that it had to have been. A dog could have played that better. It was like my daughter was shrinking on the spot, and she looked down and said, "No, I've had 2 lessons, but doing it with 2 hands is hard." And they just laughed even fucking harder. I just stood up, took their cups, and said leave. Now. My mum tried to say about how they hadn't finished their drinks, they wanted to hear another song, etc., and I said, get your stuff and get the fuck out of my house right now. My dad started doing this huffing thing he does when someone dares speak up to him, and my mum said that there was no need to be like this, that I can't protect her all the time, and she's preparing my daughter for the real world. I said, it's not teaching the real world. They're just nasty little bullies picking on children, and shit like this is why I was so fucked up as a kid. Now leave. They got their stuff and left. I sat with my daughter, and I explained how proud of her I was and how well she was doing. To ignore them. They were just being cruel because they don't know any other way to be, and asked if she could please play it again, which she did. On the Sunday, I messaged and said that until they can behave like decent human beings, that we are taking a break away from them. My dad replied that it was my choice, but he didn't realize he raised me to be so precious. Now, my lovely, brown-nosing, golden child of a sister is getting involved. She phoned me today with my parents' version of events, telling me I was a nasty piece of work and should never speak to my parents that way, that I'm wrapping my child in cotton wool and blah blah blah. I just told her to go fuck herself and hung up. I'm not asking if I'm in the wrong for standing up for my daughter, I'll always do that, but I did go pretty 0 to 100. I kicked them out straight away. I swore at them and in front of my daughter. I did raise my voice at the end when I said leave. I was and still am angry. I don't think I'd even accept an apology from them at this point. This behavior isn't new. It's decades old. But this is the first time it affected my daughter. Did I go too far? Did I react too much? Should I have tried to be calmer or talk it out? I don't know. Am I the asshole here? In the comments, 2 Plastic Lobsters says, not the asshole, you're a goddamn hero. If your parents think that's an acceptable way to talk to a child, they had it coming. Bullies always whine when the tables are turned. At most, you might want to talk to your daughter about how they've always been like this, and a confrontation was bound to happen. She may blame herself, or wonder if you'll yell at her like that someday. Knowing there's a history would help her understand. At 10, she'll have encountered bullies already, but may not know that they don't change when they grow up. OP says, thanks for your comment. I didn't think of that. I definitely don't want my daughter thinking that I'll ever react that way at her. Not the asshole. Who laughs in a 10-year-old's face when they're just starting to learn a new skill? Their actions were out of line and uncalled for. Protect your daughter, keep those horrible people far away from her. Moreover, who, besides another 10-year-old, laughs in a 10-year-old's face about anything, or at anyone trying to show a new skill, or any skill? Don't be dicks. Pretty easy. You are my personal hero of the day, OP. Not the asshole. Your daughter is never going to forget you standing up for her. Absolutely correct. She'll see you as an ally in life now. She'll also realize that it's okay to not accept people being awful to you. 2 very enthusiastic thumbs up for your parenting. Not the asshole. You're correct. They are just nasty little bullies picking on children. What normal human would belittle a child's attempts to perform for them? I know 3 people who never need to darken your door again. OP says, it was how they always were. Anything I did while growing up was picked at or laughed at. I couldn't let my daughter feel how I did. Awesome job. My stepdad was not a great parent, but the day he flipped at his mum for making a nasty comment about my weight, I was 10, is one of my fondest memories of him. The way they acted was honestly mean to a bizarre degree. Like cartoon villain level mean. I'm sure it was normalized in your family, and it's truly amazing of you to break that norm and create a new standard of decency and kindness for your kid. You were acting like a sane parent by kicking them out. Back up to the post, there's an edit. Lots of people think I'm a mum. No, I'm a single dad. Also, thank you all for your comments. Definitely calming the anger I felt and making me feel less shit for the way I reacted. Edit 2, I really appreciate all the comments, even the ones calling me Mama Bear. I never doubted that I was in the right for standing up for my daughter, just how I went about it. I'm gonna sit and talk with my daughter about it all, either tomorrow after school or on the weekend. My parents and sisters can just disappear for all I care right now. To all the commenters that said they wish they had someone like me when they were younger, I get it, man. I really do. I hope you got someone now, or are able to be that someone. Reading all these comments definitely changed my anger into sadness / a realization that I'm not alone with the shitty parents. I won't lie, reading that definitely shot an arrow, directly into my heart. Seeing them belly laugh like that at the child, and then just not apologize at all, just double down on their shittiness. And then on top of that, be like, no. Play another song. I want to keep laughing at you. Do it again. One more song for us to laugh at you even more. Knowing that OP had to go through all this trauma, I applaud OP for having the strength to keep these parents in his life, to try and break this cycle, to try and make the future better for your daughter, that hopefully these two assholes that raised you would be better for your grandchild, but unfortunately they were not. You were not the asshole here for kicking them out and saying that that was why you were messed up as a kid. That's not going to change them. It seems like nothing at this point will ever change them. And at this point, completely cut them out of your life. For your sake, for your daughter's sake, and for everyone's sanity here, please completely cut them out of your life. And your sister if she's going to keep up the charade. And now, onto the update. We cut contact with parents and sister. Parents kept messaging that I was being overprotective, didn't know how to raise a child. I should look at how well I've grown with how they raised me. Sister still thought that I'm committing some massive crime by talking to my parents that way, not agreeing with them, etc. Been about 9 months since the last messages. They've been blocked, and any family that messages about them has a warning if they continue, they will be blocked. Bye, Nan and Uncle Steve. I got my daughter a piano second-hand off Gumtree. Dear fuck, they're expensive. Just over $5,000 for a small Yamaha, and then almost $1,500 to bring it up to scratch. Keys and wires, and another £130 to tune it. Pianos are expensive. Probably ripped off. I don't know, but if she gives it up, I might actually cry. She's 11 now, has lessons twice a week, which also make my bank cry. But to be honest, I think she might be the next Mozart, the only piano person I can think of. She practices all the time. I have a partner now, and he's equally as supportive as me. She always grins at the applause at the end of her shows, fortnightly to monthly. Thanks for all the previous love, supportive comments, and pointing in the right direction. Sorry for all the wasted awards. Don't put any on this, it's another throwaway. I am beyond proud of my daughter. She understands why we don't see them anymore, and she seems okay with it. She is brilliant. Thanks again. Edit to add, I reread the post and just want to add that I did talk to my daughter. I have multiple times since. My parents were pretty involved in our lives, so their absence hit her pretty hard at the start. I explained in kid terms the shit that I went through, what they said, and how they were wrong and shouldn't have. How I won't allow it with her. I also apologized for getting angry around her and swearing, and she did get upset and say that I scared her, which made me feel fucking awful. She seems to understand none of it was aimed at her, as it was for her. She isn't scared of me or anything, was just an in-the-moment thing. I don't shout or swear around her normally. She gets that I love her. I'm in her corner, and I always will be. In the comments, amazing. You did the right thing protecting your child from your parents. Glad to hear that you stuck with your decision. Truly admirable. OP says, to be honest, making the post helped. I doubted myself a lot, thought I went too far. I genuinely debated apologizing. No regrets, Reddit has its bads, but it helped me. Your daughter's gonna grow up knowing she has a father who will stand up for her no matter what. Words can't do justice the difference that will make in her life. I know how hard that shit is. It's never easy to cut off family. There's always that voice that will tell you that you're overreacting. You aren't. I hope you and your partner are making a wonderful life and that you will get to watch your child grow into a confident adult. She might not have had the chance to without your protection and sacrifice. I hope you know how worth it your decision was. I applaud you, OP. Thank you for doing the right thing by your child. Thank you for cutting them all off. I genuinely don't believe there was any good in keeping them in your life. Again, I respect you for giving them all that chance, but they showed that they were not deserving of being in your life. Plain and simple. Thank you for having that conversation with her and clearing up that you don't hate her, there is no ill will, you are doing everything for her and for her benefit. I agree with everyone else in the comments there that she will grow up knowing that you were there for her 100%, and I respect that so much. You sound like an amazing parent. Anyone would be lucky to have you as a parent, a guiding figure in their life, even as a mate. I truly respect you for that, and thank you for the update, showing us that, humanity can be good and isn't always a flaming dumpster fire like a lot of stories are on here. Our next post is by user Educational Cry, and it's titled, I, 21 female, have been dating my boyfriend, 21 male, for a year, and he mistook my human decency for feminism. Am I the asshole for wanting to end this relationship? So the other day, my boyfriend and I were talking on the phone. He told me about his friend's, 23 male's, relationship and asked for my opinion because he wanted to know the female point of view. Basically, his friend was dating a girl, 19, who did not share his religion. He really wanted her to have the same beliefs, so she decided to convert for him and practice his religion. Eventually, her family decided to disown her, and it caused her a lot of issues and problems. Oh God, no. Around the time she converted, they were still in a long-distance relationship. Later on, they met in person and spent 2 weeks together. After those 2 weeks, he decided he didn't have feelings for her and broke up with her. Oh God, no. What is wrong with this man? How does feminism have anything to do with this? 2 days after the breakup, he told my boyfriend that he regretted it and thought he still loved her. Emphasis on thinks. This is when my boyfriend asked for my opinion. I tried to stay neutral and told him that I think his friend shouldn't get back with her because he already decided that he doesn't love her. He would just be wasting both her time and his. I added that if he's a good person, he should leave her alone, since he's already caused her enough trouble in her life and then threw her away after spending 2 weeks with her. My boyfriend then told me that he thinks that his friend should get back with her just because the girl is pretty and nice and she actually loves him. No! Male manipulator core. I told him that was unfair, because he would be taking advantage of her. You don't love someone just because they're attractive. That's when he told me I'm such a feminist, and that I don't have to make everything about feminism. He said I wasn't being realistic, that I don't know the girl to be on her side, and that I watch way too many women empowerment videos. I explained that this has nothing to do with feminism. If the roles were reversed, and it was my friend telling me that she did this to a guy, I would still tell her to leave him alone because she caused enough damage already. I would lose all respect for her. You're not supposed to toy with people's feelings or life, regardless of gender. I told him I was speaking from the goodness of my heart and that it's just normal human decency. My beliefs are built on a solid foundation. I am not an idiot. I am a feminist and always will be proud of that, but this conversation had nothing to do with it. He seemed very biased towards his friend, which I didn't like at all. On top of that, he lashed out at me for no reason, calling me a feminist as if it were an insult. Now I'm honestly contemplating ending the relationship because of his way of thinking. For context, when I asked my boyfriend if the girl did anything wrong, he said she was an absolute sweetheart and a very kind person. I think my eyes are gonna come out of my skull with the amount of side-eyeing I'm doing right now. In the comments, Bitter Do Gooder says, "Does he always want you to just agree with him and not actually have an opinion? Dump him. What the hell is female empowerment about not wanting one person to emotionally manipulate another? You don't need to know them to know that it's not a good situation, and the person manipulating the other is not a good person. But yeah, make it about boys versus girls. Not the asshole, dump him." OP says, "Actually, yeah. A lot of the time he gets upset when I disagree with him about certain things, and we always end up arguing about our disagreements. He just doesn't want to agree to disagree. I've explained it to him way too many times that we're not supposed to be the same person or have the same opinions. Each one of us can be their own person, and that is okay." Sounds like you're a guest to his life. A trophy, not a peer. Do not waste your youth with someone that you absolutely cannot have a future with. Let's put it this way. Imagine 10 years from now, a child with that man, you carry full term, and then life happens. Imagine your future in those conditions. You do understand how dangerous it could be, right? If a man shows you a glimpse of his true self, react accordingly. Believe all of it. Do not permit yourself to whitewash and sanitize what you experienced with him. "Oh, it wasn't that bad. I can fix him." That's how we get killed. Not the asshole, and yeah, end it. You can do so much better. He can't. Sleepy Mickey says, "I think he just told you how he views you as a person. You're just a pretty face that loves him. Take that pretty face somewhere where you will be loved." OP says, "Oh my god, no, because thank you so much for saying this. The main reason why he fell in love with me in the first place is because he found me really attractive, and for the longest time, it was the only thing he complimented me on. My looks only, and nothing else. Almost like I lacked depth as a person. He lacks depth, and you'd do well to not waste your time with this child." Look guys, maybe I'm starting to believe that the bar really is in hell. Maybe once again people do need to have stories of the failures of others in order to learn, oh shit, all he ever does is compliment me on my appearance and literally nothing else about me, and doesn't seem to care about my opinions, and wants all of our beliefs to align exactly as they are and to never have any fights or arguments or any disagreements. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to ignore all of that. I think I will continue this relationship because this is normal. Jesus Christ, this started so badly. The 23-year-old convinced the 19-year-old to convert to his religion. She got outcast by her family for this man who, after 2 weeks of them not being long distance, was like, "Ah, man, I'm just not feeling it. I know you literally burned your life down for me, but I just don't fuck with you like that, you know?" I'm losing my mind. That was such a deranged place to start with this, and now we're here, where OP's like, "Oh man, have I been in the passenger seat this entire relationship and kind of just twirling my hair and looking out the window, ignoring all of the absolute insane shit coming from the driver's seat? No, that can't be me. That can't be right. Oh my god, OP. Wake up. Please wake up and get out of that relationship. No, you're not the asshole for wanting to end this relationship. What have I just read?" And now, on to the update. First, thank you to everyone who gave me advice. You gave me so much clarity, even the ones who basically yelled at me. God bless all of you. Also, I want to apologize for my grammar mistakes, because English is not my first language, and I speak 3 languages, so please go easy on me. Okay, Flex Lord, watch out. I've decided to break up with him. Right now, I told him that we should take a break, because I need time to figure things out, but honestly, I just need that space to build the courage to end things. My mind is already made up. When I told him I wanted this break, he kinda freaked out and asked if I knew what happens when people take breaks, but I insisted. In my last post, I know he came across as a terrible person. He's not the worst boyfriend on earth. He was actually a good boyfriend in many ways. I loved spending time with him because he is funny, sweet, loving, and fun to be around. The main reason I want to end things is because he does not truly see me for who I am. He does not understand me, and he never really tried. I know he loved me in his own way, but it always felt shallow. One thing I should clarify is that I never got intimate with him, and he respected my wishes. From the beginning, I told him I wasn't willing to do anything physical beyond holding hands and hugging, and he never complained. If I told him something made me uncomfortable, he apologized immediately and did not repeat it. He always listened when I needed to talk and tried to comfort me in his own way. I'm saying this not to change anyone's mind, but because I feel like I owe it to him to admit that he was good to me in many ways. I also genuinely loved him and once saw a future with him. Unfortunately, I do not see that future anymore. I realized he only valued me for my looks. I remember once asking him why he chose me. My answer for him was that I liked how honest, kind-hearted, sweet, supportive, and respectful he was, and that he celebrated my achievements. I said he seemed like the type of person I would want to grow with. His answer to me was, "Because you are beautiful, and it's hard to find girls like you nowadays." Jesus! You were everything I want in a wife. You would take care of our future family. You know how to cook, and you genuinely care about me. I love you, Bangmaid. You're my favorite Bangmaid. At first I laughed, thinking he was joking, but he was not. Something broke inside me then, though I tried to excuse it by telling myself he just didn't know how to put feelings into words. Over time, I realized it wasn't just poor phrasing, he really only cared about how I looked. I could never have a deep conversation with him because he simply lacks depth. He hated feminism and even called me weird for being strongly opinionated, saying that it would not benefit me because I am not struggling and no one's bothering me. That's not true. In university, I often got treated like I'm an idiot because of how I look, even though I work very hard as a med student. Hold up, who's bullying a med student for being an idiot? Jesus. Some professors treat me with disrespect until they see my exam results, and then they're surprised I did well. People assume I'm shallow because I'm pretty. He knew all of this, but he dismissed it, telling me I should not fight for my rights or try to earn respect. He also often hated it whenever we disagreed on something, no matter how many times I tried to reason with him and tell him that it's okay to agree to disagree. He insisted that we should agree on almost everything because that's how relationships work. I stood by what I said anyway. During arguments, he often tried to twist my words, put words in my mouth, or flip the situation on me, but I always called him out and refused to fall for his manipulation. Only then would he apologize and own up to his mistakes. He once told me that he thought he was the only person in the relationship putting in effort and that I didn't contribute at all, which completely blew my mind because it was way far away from the truth. I also realized that he took my forgiveness for granted. Sometimes he wouldn't take our arguments seriously when I tried to resolve things maturely by talking them out and hearing each other, because he knew that at the end of the day, I would forgive him. That was something I could never overlook because I only offer that kind of forgiveness to people I truly love and care about. It's a form of vulnerability for me, and seeing him take it for granted broke my heart. That was the breaking point for me. I know now he will never truly understand me or see who I am. In the comments, Charlotte Lucas OP says, "We should never disagree," and yet he never seemed to try to change his mind to agree with you. What a self-absorbed amoeba. Looks change over a lifetime, but the right partner will cherish the qualities that never fade. OP says, yeah, he always wanted to change things about me, but never considered changing things about himself for me. Oh my god, you were dating my ex. He just wanted a girlfriend, not you. Sounds like he had a bunch of qualifications a girl should fulfill, and it doesn't matter who does it. I'm sorry, friend, but it seems from your update that he doesn't actually know you or like you. I'm proud of you, internet stranger, for taking the steps to move forward. Still not the asshole. OP says, thank you so much. It breaks my heart to realize that he doesn't love me for who I am. I thought he might be the man that I would marry one day, but I know that this isn't the end of the world. I've been through breakups before, and I know I'll be just fine without him, even if it makes me sad now. I'm okay with that. I feel bad for the poor girl who lost her family for a man who never loved her. That's tragic. I realize that the kind of family who will disown you for being essentially groomed is probably pretty toxic, but still. Damn, I hope she's okay. We don't know her story, so her family may be super toxic anyway, but still. Switching your religion and defying all you've known for a guy you've never met is crazy. At 19, the decision-making skills aren't amazing. Honestly, OP, I'ma let you talk and finish that whole update of yours because it's what I expected to hear from you, and thank God you have a backbone, but Jesus, can you come back and tell us what happened with that girl? Please tell us that she's okay. Like, you're good. I respect that. You're all good. Thank you for doing the right thing and getting the fuck away from that guy. But what's going on with the 19-year-old? Man, she's just isolated now. Can you check in on her? Can you make sure she's all right, please? Like, honestly, now that was the story of the story for me. Regardless, yes, he was a piece of shit. We all realize that now. He never changed. He never wanted to change. Thank you for info dumping everything else about him. I am not shocked. I am not surprised. He sounds like your typical grade A asshole. Anyway, guys, that's where I'm going to end today's episode. I do hope you enjoyed. If you did, let me know what you thought of it in the comments down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.